everyone, welcome back to Hello Flower Crochet. I'm Ellie, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make these beautiful flower coasters. You can make them in any color you'd like. You can use one solid color, or you can use two colors, one for the center and one for the petals. They're super easy, they work up super quick. The pattern is called the Hello Flower Coaster, and the written version is available on my website at helloflowercrochet.com. I will also put the link in the description box of this video. But for those of you that are visual learners, you are in the right place because I'm going to be walking you through step by step how to make these today. So grab some yarn and stay a while, and let's get started. Here's what you'll need to begin. You will need approximately 28 yards of worsted weight yarn, or 20 yards of the petal color, and 8 yards of a center color. You will need a 5mm crochet hook. Stitch markers are optional. You will need scissors and a yarn needle. The finished size is approximately 5 inches by 5 inches. The gauge is 3 inches equals 11 stitches by 12 rows worked in single crochet. Stitches and abbreviations you will need to know in US terms are magic ring, single crochet, increase, back loop only, half double crochet, and slip stitch. Where asterisks are present, you will want to repeat the instructions between the asterisks. Pattern notes are that this pattern is worked in one piece, and it is worked in continuous rounds, and there are 9 total rounds. For round 1, we will begin by making the center of our flower coaster, so we will need to make a magic ring, and I will walk you through just quickly here how to make a magic ring. If you'd like a more broken down, slower video on how to make a magic ring, let me know in the comments below and I'll make that for you guys. But here's a quick walkthrough on how to do it. So you'll hold the tail right there with your index finger and your thumb. So just leave a little bit so you can weave it in later. So hold the tail there, and then with these 3 fingers, so your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger, that's where you'll place the yarn over, so you're leaving your pinky out. So place the yarn over those 3 fingers there, and then you can use your pinky to hold the yarn in place. And then you will take the yarn and make an X, just like that. So if you want to pull this back here, you can, whichever is easiest for you, however you'd like to hold it. Make an X, so you're taking the yarn with the 3 fingers, and you're making an X. Again, you can use your pinky to hold that. Take your hook, go under the first part of the X, and then grab the second one, pull it under, and then you will still have your 2 pieces over here where your X is. See, we still have our X. We will go over top of the first one and grab the second one and chain to close. And then that's your magic ring. So to begin round 1, we will make 8 single crochet in the magic ring. You can pull the magic ring closed just a little bit, just don't pull it closed all the way because that's what we will be working into. So 8 single crochet into the magic ring. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. We're working right into the magic ring. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we have 8 single crochet in the magic ring. Now we will pull our tail to pull it closed, and just make sure, verify that you have 8 stitches, which are the V's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, your 8th one will be a little bit hidden off to the side here. So we have 8. For round 2, we will be doing an increase in every stitch around, a single crochet increase in every stitch around. So from round 1, we have our 8 single crochets, and we are going to end with 16 single crochets for round 2. Remember, we are not joining our rounds, we are working in continuous rounds. So I still have it open from the first round. I haven't joined. I haven't joined in with a slip stitch or anything into the first stitch here. I'm not doing anything to join. I'm just going to keep working around and around for the center. So for round 2, we will do a single crochet increase in every stitch around. And an increase is 2 stitches in 1 stitch, so you will do 2 single crochets in every stitch around. Before you begin your second round, you can also place a stitch marker into the last stitch to help you remember where you're at. So that's our last stitch, so that's our 8th stitch. So here was our first one, and then we worked 8 around. So the stitch marker is coming from the 8th one right there. So you can begin round 2 by, like I said, placing 2 single crochets into each stitch around, so 1 increase into each stitch around. So working right into the first stitch there, we will work 2 single crochets for an increase, 1 and 2, and there's your increase, and we will do the same for every stitch around, and I will meet you back when we get to the stitch marker. Okay, so I've worked an increase in every stitch around except for the last stitch where the stitch marker is coming from. So I will remove my stitch marker and I will work another increase into the last stitch of the round. So 1, 2. So I did my last increase into the last stitch of the round, and now you will have 16 single crochets around. You can place your stitch marker back into that last stitch there. So we will do that, and then we can move on to round 3. So for round 3, we will increase in the first stitch and single crochet in the next stitch. We will do that all the way around for 24 stitches total in the end. So increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, increase in the third stitch, single crochet in the fourth stitch, and just repeat that all the way around. I do want to note, since we're not joining, just pay attention to make sure you're working into your first stitch. So it might be a little bit hidden. You might have to pull it apart. Just don't forget the first stitch right there. Right there. That's my first stitch of the round. Make sure you're not skipping that. So let's work an increase in the first stitch. 1, 2. 2 single crochets in the same stitch. There's our first increase, and then single crochet in the next stitch, increase in the next stitch, 2 and 1 is your increase, single crochet in the next stitch, and then just repeat that all the way back around, and I will meet you at the stitch marker. Okay, I'm back around to my stitch marker, so I will take my stitch marker out and work my last single crochet into that last stitch there where my stitch marker was. So there's my single crochet. So you should have done an increase in a single crochet, an increase in a single crochet, an increase in a single crochet all the way around. So you should end with 24 stitches for this third round. You can place your stitch marker back into that last stitch there. Here we go. And then we will be on to round 4. For round 4, you will work a single crochet in the first stitch, an increase in the next stitch, and then a single crochet in the next stitch. So that is the pattern that you will repeat all the way around. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet, all the way around, and you will have 32 stitches around. So single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, increase in the next stitch, single crochet in the next, and then repeat that all the way around and meet me right back at the stitch marker. Okay, so I just did my last increase and I need to do one more single crochet. So remove the stitch marker and do 1 single crochet in the last stitch of the round. And you can put your stitch marker right back into that last stitch there. There we go. And then we are finished with round 4 and on to round 5. Round 5 will be our last round making our center. So our last round with this color. So for round 5, we are going to want to increase in the first stitch and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase in the next, single crochet in the next 3, all the way around for 40 stitches. So let's increase in the first stitch, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then increase, and then single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then just repeat that all the way around and meet me back at the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm back around. I did my increase and then 2 single crochets, so I need to do 3 single crochets, so I need to do 1 more single crochet into this last stitch here where the stitch marker is. So into the last stitch, 1 single crochet, and that completes round 5, so that completes our center. So now we will want to do an invisible join, which I will teach you how to do in just a minute here. So to do an invisible join, just remove your hook, pull up a loop just a little bit there, remove your hook, and then grab your scissors and leave a little bit of a tail, snip your yarn, and then you will pull this loop through, and you will thread this tail through your yarn needle. A little tip to get your yarn through your yarn needle a little easier is to go like that, slide it off, slide it right into there. So now we have our tail through our yarn needle, and we have to do our invisible join. So to do the invisible join, you have the stitch right here that the yarn is coming from, you have the next stitch, and then you have the stitch after that. So not the one that the yarn tail is coming from, not that stitch, and not the next stitch, because that's the one we're going to be skipping and creating our fake stitch over top of, but the following stitch. So we're going to skip 1 stitch and work into the following stitch from inside to out. So stick your needle under both of those loops of that stitch, not the one the tail is coming from, and not the next one that we're skipping, but the one after that. Stick your needle through both loops, pull the tail all the way through, okay? And now we are going to be working into the stitch that the tail is coming from, but we are going to be working into the back loop only this time instead of both loops. So still working from inside to out, but just the back loop only of that stitch that the tail is coming from. So pull your tail through that, and that just creates, you can remove your needle now, that just creates a fake stitch right over top of the stitch that we skipped. Just leaves a little bit cleaner and more uniform of a finish, so we can join our new color for the petals. Okay, once you have your new color ready, the color you're going to use for your petals, you are going to want to make a slip knot, and we are going to be joining this yarn. Do not join it right where we did that fake stitch, or you might pull it up, because this yarn can get pulled through pretty easily. So don't join it there, just skip a couple, just do it like 2 or 3 away from that. So you have your slip knot here, so have your knot on your hook, and again just skip 2, 3 away from the fake stitch and join it there. But instead of joining through both stitches like you typically would, we are going to join through the back loop only to give it a cleaner finish to join this new color here. So instead of going through both, instead of going through the V, see there's 2 stitches on there, that's what we would normally work through. We are going to work through just the back loop, so the one furthest away from us. So not this one here, not the one closest to us, but the one away from us. So let's work into the back loop only. Insert your hook, pull the loop through, and then pull the loop through for a slip stitch. We are going to slip stitch in the back loop only all the way around, but you're going to want, and this is important, you're going to want to work your slip stitches in the back loop only loosely. Not too loose, but definitely not too tight, because if you make them too tight, they are going to be really hard to work into for the next round. So loosely slip stitch in the back loop only all the way around for 40 stitches. So we already did one, and then there's 2, the back loop only, 3, 4, and I will meet you once we get all the way back around. Okay, I have done 37 out of 40, but I'm back around to where we worked our invisible join, so I just want to show you just to be careful once you start working into those, not to pull it. You can hold the tail if you need to. So I've done 37 and I need to do 40. So 38. Being careful, this is my fake stitch, so being careful. 39, it may pull it up a little bit, just pull the tail and it'll come back down. And then 40. So we have 40 stitches, 40 slip stitches in the back loop only, and that completes round 6. Okay, and for round 7, the pattern is slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the second stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and you will repeat that all the way around for 8 petals. So working into the first stitch here, remember we're going to go under both loops, so the first one might be a little, you have your slip knot there, it might be a little hard to see, but make sure you're not skipping that. So working into the first stitch, slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the next one. Again, if you worked them too tightly, you worked your slip stitches too tightly in the previous round, it might be a little hard to get your hook into, so you can either just push it in there and work in there as best as you can, or if you think that they're too tight, you can undo that round and work your slip stitches again a little looser. So we did our first slip stitch, here's our second slip stitch, and then we will do a half double crochet in the next stitch. So here is a half double, and then we will work 3 double crochet into the same stitch for the next stitch. So 3 double crochet in one. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. And then we will work a half double crochet into the next stitch. And there is 1 petal, so you will repeat this all the way around. I will do one more with you. So slip stitch into the next, slip stitch into the next, half double into the next, 3 double crochet in one into the next, 1, 2, and 3, and then half double into the next. And you will just repeat that all the way around. So I will meet you when you get to your last petal. Okay, so I have 7 out of the 8 petals worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 8th one will go here, so we will do the 8th one together. Slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochet into the next, 1, 2, and 3. And we will end on a half double right there. So now we have 8 petals. Count yours to verify and make sure you didn't miss any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 petals and you should too. So that is the end of round 7. 2 more rounds to go. So for round 8, the pattern is slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the second stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and a single crochet into the next stitch. And you will repeat that all the way around. So to begin round 8, we will do a slip stitch into the first, a slip stitch into the second, and then a single crochet into the next stitch, a half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next, 1, 2, and 3, and then a half double into the next, and a single into the next. We'll do one more petal together. So we will start with a slip stitch into the first, slip stitch into the second, single crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next, 3 double crochet in the next, 1, 2, and 3, half double into the next, single into the next. So we've done 2 petals so far for this round. You'll want to repeat that all the way around until you've worked all 8 of your petals, and I'll meet you at the last petal. Okay, so I've worked 7 out of the 8 petals again. I have 1 petal left, so we will do the last one together. So slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and half double into the next, 3 double into the next, 1, 2, 3, half double into the next, and a single into the last of the round. So that is it for round 8. We have 1 more round to go. So for round 9, the pattern is slip stitch in the first stitch, slip stitch in the second stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the next stitch. And you will repeat that all the way around for 8 petals. So let's do this together. So for round 9, slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we will single crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, 3 double crochet in the next, 1, 2, and 3 double crochet all in the same stitch, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, and then a single crochet in the next. One more together, slip stitch in the next. It can be really hard to work into the slip stitches of the previous round if you do them too tight. So I did this one too tight, so it's a little hard to work into. So just keep that in mind and work them a little loose. So slip stitch into the next one. Also, they can be kind of hard to see because they're smaller, so make sure you're not skipping them. So we did our first 2 slip stitches. Now we will do a single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, 3 double crochet in the next, 1, 2, 3, half double in the next, half double in the next, and a single in the next. And you will repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you at your last petal. Okay, so I have 7 out of the 8 petals worked. I just have 1 more petal to work into. So let's do that one together. Slip stitch into the first stitch. Slip stitch into the next stitch, single crochet in the next, half double in the next, half double in the next, 3 double in the next, 1, 2, and 3, half double in the next, half double in the next, and a single in the next. And then that finishes all 8 petals. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to snip your yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail, so you can do another invisible join. So same thing as last time, just skip a stitch and then go front to back through both stitches of the next stitch, and the back loop only of the one the tail is coming through. And once you do that, you'll have your invisible join again, so you won't be able to see a bump if you didn't, like you would if you didn't do an invisible join. So yeah, that's all there is to it. So you can just form it to, you know, how you'd like, make the petals more uniform, weave in all your ends, but yep, that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!